It definitely encourages students to think about it. I just wonder how they're thinking about it, so I'm thinking of the admissions process where you have to check a box, identify yourself. And they give you a certain amount of options and they give you other.
When filling out forms, I had to check off one of those boxes about my race. I always put other. It wasn't even like a thought process anymore. It was just check other because I think growing up in predominantly white schools, people always look at me and they just say, she's black.
Some of the applications that I did, they didn't have a mixed box. They had either white, black, Hispanic, or Asian. So it's kind of like, okay, well, what do you do with that?
I always try to encourage administrators to start thinking outside of those boxes in terms of okay, we're asking these questions, we're asking students to check these boxes, but we're still not clear why. Because we want to say that, oh, we don't do quotas. We want to say that it really doesn't impact admissions, but it does.
When it comes to different types of students, whether multicultural students or your traditional Caucasian students, no, I think really the college student is looking for what the college student wants, and that's going to be an opportunity to have some fun, do well in the classroom, have some of those college type experiences. But for the most part, that list is going to be the same for every high school, college age student.
I actually didn't think about diversity when I was selected in college, but now I wish I did. Because when I came, I didn't realize how there's not much Hispanics here. So since I didn't realize that, it was a very big culture shock for me.
So I came to an HBCU because I had a pretty difficult experience in high school. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and my high school was in the outskirts of Memphis, and it was extraordinarily racist.
The action serves as a checks and balances for me. So as long as we have a disproportionate number of African Americans in the workplace, then we need some type of checks and balance system, whether it be affirmative action, whatever we want to call it.
Make sure your campus climate is a climate that actually is inviting for people from different backgrounds. Having mentors who understand some of the challenges those students are going to have is absolutely vital.
What about the faculty? Right? Why aren't faculty numbers increasing? And that's the thing that kind of gets under my skin. I think the presumption, again, is that we aren't good enough to get in those spaces.
If you can overcome the stigma, if you can acclimate yourself to what sometimes is a strange and alienating environment, and then if you can wrestle with and confront and overcome the biases and implicit biases that you'll be subject to as a student of color at a predominantly white institution, then maybe you can graduate and be successful.
Growing up in a small town, you don't really think of race at all.
I feel like back home in California, I had those the same stereotypical things that people think of us. I thought of us as well until I came out here and saw that there's more to life than what I knew.
Every person that drops out of school, they build a new jail cell. Mm-hmm. That impacts me so much.